Hey, 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 happy Tuesday. Happy December 1st, the last month of 2020. I know for many, they are so excited to go, see you later, 2020. I think 2020 has brought so many twists and turns, and it was really fun to read about all of the successes in the boot camp. Yesterday on the boot camp Facebook page, I put what are your November victories? And I think there were at least 4 that said it's the biggest month they've ever had in their practice history. So for those of you who maybe aren't there, I just want to encourage you that you can be, but you'll have to do something different than what you're doing right now, right? If we don't like the results that we're getting, something has to change. Hey, when you join us, do me a favor. Pop in the comment section where you're joining us from. I'm in Eagle River, Alaska. Dr. Veronica is in Georgia. And we want to know where you're joining us from. So I'm really excited to have Dr. Veronica with me today. Veronica, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So Veronica is a member of my 56-day chiropractic boot camp, a member of the tribe, and she joined a group of us in Nashville, Tennessee in November for our ultimate marketing boot camp. And I invited her to join me for 3 reasons today. Number 1, I wanted her to share with you what her experience was like for a live boot camp event, because this was her first one. Number 2, we're going to discuss with you, with each of you, what keeps us from taking action. So Dr. Veronica has been taking massive action in her community ever since the marketing boot camp. So I want her to share with you what caused that, because she's always known to do it, but why is that different now? So she's going to be sharing that with you. And then number 3, unashamedly, I'm here to tell you, all of you, if you serve families at all, children at all, you really need to be at the pediatric boot camp in February at Sherman. We have 9.5 CEs available, just an unbelievable lineup. And listen, it is imperative that as chiropractors, we know how to properly locate, analyze, and correct vertebral subluxation. If you're going to see children from birth to on up, it's not optional on if you know how to take care of children or not. The subluxation patterns that we're seeing nowadays are completely different than they were 5 or 10 years ago. And if you see children, it's imperative that no excuses. And pregnancy, there are things showing up now that didn't show up before, and it's important that you're able to recognize it. So there's Maria from the UK joining us. Maria, welcome. Thank you so much. So Veronica, let's jump right in. Number 1, what made you decide to join us in Nashville for the Ultimate Marketing Boot Camp?
Well, I joined the boot camp just before the COVID shutdown this year. And so I went to the marketing boot camp because I wanted to get myself prepped for 2021, to grow my practice and, really kind of get things moving. And I was really excited about the in-person event because I wanted to meet in person some of the other members of the tribe. And I hadn't met you yet. So, so that was really great. I'm super glad I went.
And what was different about this live chiropractic event than other ones that you've gone to?
There was a lot of camaraderie and it was a super supportive community, which I will say I've been to some good events before. This one wasn't technique based and it was really applicable to any type of practice. Mine's a little bit different than a lot of other ones. But so I love that. I mean, it was great. And the community was super supportive regardless of how you practice, it didn't really seem to matter. And there was no competition about one technique being better than another, anything like that. So it was a great time.
And we had so much fun.
We did. Yes.
We worked hard all day and then we all went out in the evening, and you probably experienced, I was raised and have adopted my parents' philosophy of leave no man behind,
Yes.
include everybody. So every night, we had this big group text thread of like, hey, here's where we're going. If you want to join us, come along. So that's one thing that's really important to me in the tribe, is that there are no cliques and everyone is included. Like, it doesn't matter where you practice or who you are, or like you said, what you do, like what level of success that you're at right now. Everyone is included. Everyone is on the exact same playing field. And that's something that is very important to me within our tribe, and especially at live events, because I've been to events before where, you kind of feel like an outsider, even though you're there. And I've never wanted anyone to feel that way. You and I, before we went live today, and if you're just joining us, pop in the comment section. Let us know, where are you joining us from? I'm in Alaska. Dr. Veronica is in Georgia. Let us know where you're joining us from, and we'll give you a shout out as being here with us. So before we went live, we talked about like what was different about the marketing boot camp. Like, here's, my team and I had a meeting yesterday, our team meeting for the week. And one of the things that we talked about was, do we really need another plan? Is that really and truly what's holding anyone back from being wildly successful? And I don't really think it is. I was thinking about, before we went live today, hey, there's Carita in New Zealand. Woohoo! Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. So the blueprint for our reality is housed in our mind, right? We know that. And that thought is mind's energy. So I was thinking of, so if it's a blueprint, like a blueprint for a house, right? Once you have the blueprint, then from the blueprint, you have a plan. Well, if you have a plan, but the blueprint is screwed up, the result isn't going to be very good, right? So what was different about this marketing boot camp in terms of plan and the results that you are now enjoying and taking action on? Like, was it something like you didn't know that you needed to be out in your community, or what flipped that switch that now you're out in your community? And what did you learn at the marketing boot camp that made such a difference? Because honestly, you already had the plan.
Right. I think really, well, we talked about the monkey mind, right? And that getting in the way. And so, you telling yourself this story, whatever it is, like, oh, there are too many chiropractors here. Anyways, nobody wants to hear from me. Or, whatever those stories are that you tell you about any situation. For example, today I had a patient cancel. Like, my patients can log in online and cancel their appointments if they need to, or schedule. And so a new patient, well, I had seen him once, and then he canceled a second visit. And for a second, I was like, oh my gosh, telling myself all these stories about why I would have done that. And then, once I actually got to the office, I just called him up, and it was totally not what I thought. And we addressed the situation. It's all good, So I could have just let it go, and he never would have come back. But instead, it's just, let's figure out what the real thing is, and see if we can address it and make everybody happy, and get him hopefully on a path to wellness. So same thing with, if it's going into, because I work with a lot of athletes, so I've been marketing at like running shoe stores and tennis stores, and they've been super receptive. It's not really what I expected. I thought they would be like, oh, here's another one. But no, actually they don't. They say, oh, we've been looking for someone to refer people to. So it's been a great opportunity. And so that's one thing I've done. And then I also had, we talked about, because of my history of being in a military family, I've moved, every couple of years. So I have in my mind, I almost have this timeline, like, I'll do this for 2 years and then I'm going to move on. Well, you can't really grow a business real successfully that way. So as soon as I got home from the marketing boot camp, actually, I got this message that said I'd been nominated for a position, and in this club that my kids are part of. And I really was like, I don't think I want to do that. I'm like, no, I think I just need to do this. And it's going to force me to, forge these relationships and be connected with people. So it's been great.
I love it. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And is there something you can put your finger on that changed your come from, right? Like, now, hey, look, like I'm connecting with these stores. I said yes. Like, What made such a change?
Part of it has been a gradual growth process. I think, success breeds confidence, right? So as you're practicing and you have some successes, you can be more confident in saying, this is what I do. And these are the testimonials I have, or, people can attest to the fact that it's been helpful. So that's one part of it. But obviously that didn't change overnight. The other thing, I think, maybe just having the experience of at the boot camp, really focusing on practicing, listening to that monkey mind, identifying it, and then kind of shutting it down, and like what's a healthier my frame of mind to be in, I guess, mindset.
I love that. So awareness of going,
yes.
like, oh, I see it. That's the constraint. That's the constraint talking. The constraint is saying, like, no one wants to hear from you. The constraint is saying you don't have time to commit to a new position. The constraint is like saying all these things. And, I think it's really important to identify what are the lies we've been telling ourselves about our reality to make us feel more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And why is comfort the goal? Have you ever thought about that? Like, why is comfort the goal? Because we don't tell our practice members to be comfortable.
Right.
Right? We tell them, strive for excellence, strive for wellness. You were designed to be well. And I want to encourage all of you, if you really want to be connected to who you are, remember who you were when you were born. That's your authentic self, right? Like, we didn't have fears. We didn't have like the monkey mind that was telling us you're no good, you can't, no one wants to hear from you. People don't, like, there's so many chiropractors, like, that's all learned, and it's natural. It's a survival constraint that was designed in order to keep us safe. It's just, we're not babies anymore. We're not little kids anymore. We're not like on the elementary school playground. Like, we're adults now, and we've taken a pledge to change the world through chiropractic adjustments and through a relationship with individuals in our community. So congratulations to you, that you have put yourself in flow to become aware. What is the biggest way that you see monkey mind showing up in your life that now you like, when it shows up, you're like, I see you?
Probably the little stories about why I can't possibly achieve whatever the goals are. As my husband likes to say, I like to find the problem. And I've always thought of it like, oh, well, it's, I'm being realistic. But I think part of it is putting up barriers that, instead of seeing it as something, okay, how do we overcome this? It's like, oh, well, we can't do it because of this, or, so identifying that, and then realizing that, okay, and they're usually realistic objections, but there's a way around it, instead of seeing it as, okay, well, we just can't do it.
I love that. And what a great spot of seeing that your survival constraint is wrapped in, well, I'm just being realistic. Like, I want to set realistic goals. Why? Why? When there's $84 trillion on the planet and one of you, why would we do anything that's realistic? When we serve 2.38% of the population, why would we have realistic goals? When we're in our office and if we're going to spend time away from our family, then make a huge impact. And most individuals have ample time in their practice. Why be realistic? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it really is this like bow with fangs that we think make us feel good, but not. It's not it definitely isn't in alignment with our chiropractic philosophy, right?
Right.
So how are you showing up differently in your practice since the marketing boot camp? Like, what are you noticing, and what conversations are you having? And so with the marketing boot camp, one of the things, for those of you who weren't there, that we did and we really emphasized was role playing. And we did that in many different ways. We did exercises on your essence, right? We paired up and did role playing. We paired up and worked on monthly marketing themes. How has all of that transitioned to a shift and an upgrade in your practice? Yeah,
I've definitely got a lot more comfortable asking for the referrals. And interestingly, I've been getting referrals from totally different places. Not the people I asked necessarily. But in fact, I've had one person refer 2 or 3 people, and I haven't seen her in months. So, but I think, we're putting the energy out there. So
nice. And how are you showing up differently at home?
I think I'm more focused, when I'm not at home. And so I can be more focused on home when I am home.
Yes. So it's like that gerbil can actually just like take a nap when you're at home and you don't have to worry about your practice anymore. What an amazing gift to give your family.
Definitely.
Right? To be present time conscious with our family. And that can really only happen when we take care of matters at work and use that time efficiently. So great job to you. I'm really proud of you, and what an awesome gift. So as we round this out, what words of advice do you have to those who are watching who have seen something about the pediatric pregnancy, infertility, and pelvic floor boot camp in February at Sherman College, and they haven't been to a boot camp event yet? What advice do you have for them?
I would say definitely come and join us. I'm planning on being there. And pregnancy, fertility is not my typical wheelhouse, but I certainly, see women, and I love working on kids as well, even though that's not the majority of what I do. But for me, it's still important that when I do have the opportunity, I can give the best care possible. So I'm excited about learning all that knowledge and connecting with all of you in person again. So I hope you guys will come join us.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much, Dr. Veronica. Thanks to each one of you who joined us today, and a very happy Tuesday to all of you. Thanks so much. See ya.
Thank you, Dr. Barb. Bye.